The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go three wide. No one's with them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's gonna be a photo finish to the line. Who's gonna get it?
Walker Thomas machine coming on at turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's gonna try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win. Hello and welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV, and we're back here with the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series from the Auto Club Speedway. A little bit of time away. This month has been pretty quiet here for PTR TV. A lot of our leagues on break, kind of in between a couple of leagues on certain days, but yeah, we're back and ready to roll here. So, yeah, joining me tonight, as always, I'm Brandon Krutz, Corey Silva in the booth with me as always, and doubling as our tech producer every night as well. And behind the scenes, we've got Joe Chris as well, behind the cameras. And so yeah, it should be a really good show here once again, Corey.
Yeah, most certainly. Auto Club Speedway is a really interesting racetrack, 2 miles in Fontana, California, one of the oldest surfaces on the NASCAR circuit, which lends to a very slick and challenging racing experience. We are about 3.5 minutes remaining in the qualifying session, but most of the times are pretty well certainly placed out. I don't see anybody else that still has to run, so should be your starting lineup, but we obviously have to wait to confirm it.
Looks like so far it's the number 90 machine at Jeff Ward there, sitting on pole with a 39.576. That is about a 10th faster than what he ran in practice, may I add.
Now, obviously, these drivers are doing the best they can to learn this Auto Club Speedway and the dynamic weather that is attached to the session, which can obviously throw a little bit of a curveball from what you've been practicing, but as Brandon said, it has been a little bit of a time off from here on PTR TV, so almost missed tonight's broadcast. Mother Nature tried throwing us a curveball, but we were able to avoid it and making sure that we are here tonight for the ASRS Cup Series, as we are every Tuesday night, alternating with this and the Sam Maxwell Customs Truck Series. So now that the iRacing Week 13 has ended, we are back in the swing of things.
Absolutely. Gonna hope that I'm still in the clear for the broadcast tonight, as I'm starting to get hit pretty hard here with the back end of the storm. But we should be A-okay for the broadcast here tonight.
Now, there is, and I'm getting confirmation from this from some of my other broadcast friends out there in the world, that there is a little bit of a problem with the software with the most recent release on iRacing, so we potentially cannot give you any instant replay. So if there is any kind of crashes at this point for the stability of the broadcast, we unfortunately cannot give you that. So we will do the best we can to show it live if we can, but just kind of bear with us with that little limitation we have. But we can run down the points, as we have about a minute and a half left to go in qualifying. We can run down the points really quick for you. Drew Carroll right now is the points leader in the Cup Series at this point. He has, after 5 races, has a 3-point lead over Jeff Ward. And then we have Jared Mogard in 3rd, Brian Yazik 4th, Jordan Ashland rounding out the top 5, 13 points off of the lead.
Yeah, so, you know, points. Looking at our point standings, Corey, things, you know, things are pretty close right now.
Yeah, up top, we're separated the top 5 by 13 points. The most winningest driver, which I'm pretty sure is horrible English, but the most winningest driver, Jeff Ward, he is in 2nd. He has put together a near flawless season, but Drew Carroll has shown a little bit more consistency. Hasn't put it in victory lane just yet, but he is on pace to do that with how he has been running.
Yeah, Drew Carroll sitting down there. No wins yet on the season, but he does have 4 top 5s and 4 top 10s to go along with that. But Jeff Ward right behind him has 2 wins on the season, 4 top 5s, 4 top 10s, matching Drew Carroll in that aspect. Jared Mogard back there in 3rd. He's got 1 win on the season, 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s. Brian Yazik sitting back there in 4th right now. He's got 2 wins on this, no, just kidding. He's got no wins on the season, but he does have 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s. And Jordan Ashland, rounding out top 5 in points, does have no wins yet, but 1 top 5 and 4 top 10s.
Yep, so we will most certainly keep track of those drivers who are doing well in the standings at this point, but we will get to you right now, the PTR TV starting lineup here from the Auto Club Speedway for the Auto Club 200 ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Cup Series. On tonight's poll, for the Perchin Pole Award winner goes Jeff Ward with his lap time of 39.577, so we offer him our congratulations on that lap and the Perchin Pole Award, the first one available in the league thus far. Jared Mogard in 2nd, Ty Hester in 3rd, Evan Black in 4th, then we have Jordan Ashland 5th, Zach Calloway in 6th, Steve Ritter 7th, Alan Young in 8th, and then rounding out your top 10, Troy Haight and Michael Krobik.
Starting in the 11th position is going to be Mark Emerson. Starting in 12th is Tom Gianni. Then it's Tim Knott, Nick Curling, Jim Foose, Josh Gallagher, Tyler Sappel, Jay Graves Jr., Andy Veltman, and rounding out the top 20 is Jordan Miller.
In 21st, John Kennedy. In 22nd, Raymond Castile. Then we have Jared Haggerty 23rd, Woody Mayhott, who's a winner this season at Daytona 24th. Kenneth Robbins 25th, Ryan Tupper 26th, and rounding out your top 30 is Andrew Garrels, Scott Eckrich, Mitch Brown, and Brian Yazik. Very surprising to see Yazik that far down to the field.
Starting back behind them, rounding out the field, is going to be Jason Stewart, David Howard, Sean Muzik, Stephen Trombley, and Scott Holler rounding out the field. Looks like 35 cars going to be ready to take the green flag here tonight.
And somehow one of our broadcasters got snuck in the grid there. Not quite sure how that happened.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened, Corey.
Yeah. It's been a little bit of a break here. It's a little bit of rust on the old broadcasting noggin here, but we're ready
the
for
old broadcasting noggin.
Yeah, but we're ready for some racing here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. The format we will be under tonight here in ASRS. We have a full fuel load of these machines, 13 incident limit, so if any driver does eclipse that 13 limit, they will be removed from the race. Fixed setups and dynamic weather. While we're on the topic of weather, we have sunny skies today, 65 degrees in the air, 91 on the track, but a 7-mile-an-hour southwest wind here tonight. Again, Auto Club Speedway, 2-mile oval in Fontana, 14 degrees of banking, very wore out, very bumpy surface, very wide, especially on these restarts. In initial start, you will see drivers fanning all around the track as there is plenty of racing room, but only about 2 grooves that you really want to mess with here on the iRacing service.
Corey, quick thing before we go green flag racing. A lot of drivers starting to drop out of the server. I would like to point out, if as per the rule book, if 18 drivers get dropped out before halfway, the race will be postponed to a different date. If 18 drivers drop out and it's been after halfway, then the race will be called official.
Yeah, hopefully we do not get to that point, but it is very good to have that information.
It has been very bad, so we'll see. It's just something that I wanted to throw out there. But coming out of turn number 4, pace car gonna get ready to drop down into pit lane. Off it goes the Nightmare Machine, Jeff Ward, ready to hit the loud pedal, waiting for the green flag. 35 cars, green flag is in the air.
And here they are. Looks like a little bit of a stack up in the middle part of the field, but everyone does get themselves sorted. And up front, very good start by both lines, side by side for the lead entering turn 1.
Down into turn number 1, down, 90 Machine, down on the bottom, 00, Mogar trying to make a move up on the high side. Caution, flag is in the air.
I believe I see the number, who is that? Nick Curling in the number 62. Again, do apologize, folks. We cannot show you the replay due to a little bit of an issue. I want to protect the stream, protect the broadcast, so.
Looking at it from my standpoint, though, I will give everybody kind of debriefer of what happened. 62 heading down into the corner. 41 was riding that second lane. I don't think Curling realized that he was going to be that far up onto the racetrack, and ended up going around heavy hit to the outside wall. But he does appear to be one of the only cars involved.
Yeah, so 35 drivers entering turn number 1. If we can have a solo incident, then that is a pretty impressive feat. Curling, with the fact that we do not have backup cars in ASRS, he will most certainly be parking it in the garage area after 1 lap, not what he wanted tonight at Auto Club. Again, we do wish we could give you the replay, but to protect the integrity of the stream, until I get facts from a couple partners, maybe confirming alternate information that what I know, we will not be giving you replays. So again, thank you, Brandon, for that analysis. After 1 lap, I would not expect any pit stops, but I mean, you never know. Looks like everybody will stay on the circuit. Looks like actually we do have some pit stops at the tail end of the field, about the last 10 to 15 drivers, perhaps starting with Andrew Garrels at about the 25th position approximately. Actually as high as 20th, Jay Graves Jr. in pit lane. We do have about 10 to 15 drivers on pit lane. Again,
and really no surprise, Corey. You know, these guys, they didn't run that far, but if you're at the very back of the pack and you've got unlimited tires that you can take, why not?
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to lose. There's really nothing to gain, but I mean, any kind of advantage is better than no advantage, so gotta look at it in maybe that aspect. Again, we do want to give a shout out to our camera specialists. So if you do enjoy the views that you see tonight, that we most certainly do. The camera angles tonight, TrackCams 4-bore maze. Check out Estevan's work at trackcams22.com, or you can check his Facebook out, facebook.com/trackcams. Talk to him, maybe you could enjoy the same views we have
So lights on the pace car are still on right now, and these guys going through their caution period, but sure, ready to get back. Green flag racing did not make it too far. Made it just about out of turn number 2 before the first caution flag flew. I do expect to take the one to green this time, see what the officials say.
Now, I did mention, Brandon, in the opening that Auto Club is a very wide track. It is a very raceable track, but by no means, and it looks like we will have at least 2 more laps of pacing, it is a very difficult track. I know myself and our colleague Evan Black, who's actually currently in the 4th position, we ran some racing last night here, and it is, as you like to say, very loosey-goosey, slippy, slidey. You really have to drive as if there's an egg under the throttle. Maybe not so much with the cool conditions tonight, but the bumps can throw you off. The outside lane doesn't really come in right away. You have to really work it in. So it is going to be a challenge, and these drivers have to be on their game for it. Absolutely, Corey.
You know, this is older pavement. It does not have nearly as much grip as, you know, some of the newer pavement. And then the bumps. The bump is huge. Even with these cooler conditions, these drivers really have to watch those bumps, especially down towards the bottom of the racetrack. You hit those bumps wrong, the back end of the car steps out. You really got to be careful how you drive this thing.
Yeah, most certainly, especially off of corner number 2. In my experience, that is where I have the most trouble here, especially if you are perhaps running the second groove in a side-by-side situation. The exit of that turn just really sneaks up on you. It can be really hard. The back end can sneak out on you, and that turn 2 wall can also catch you by surprise. But where they are right now at 3 and 4, it's a lot more of a open corner. You have a little more room to play with, a little more kind of flexibility in your lines, and corner exit is a lot easier, but it's also more important because we have the extremely long front straightaway.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that we don't normally talk about, but it can play a little bit of effect here on these longer straightaways, is trying to get the draft of the driver in front of you. You can play to a little bit of an advantage. Obviously not as strong as, say, a super speedway, but it does have a slight advantage.
You can see if there's a side-by-side battle, perhaps somebody behind you, you can see a situation of that driver having to pick which line he wants to help, and a lot of times you will see him go with the outside lane because, you know, sometimes you can get that momentum built up there, maybe pinch the guy on the inside, and that can help you make a pass.
As we see now, lights out up on top of the iRacing official pace car are out. These guys will get stacked up, doubled up, ready to go. Green flag racing. Your leader, Jared Mogard, up here ready to lead the field back to the green flag.
Yep, so we didn't really, as I like to say, we didn't really even wear the stickers off the tires there. So let's see on this first restart of the race what these guys can do. If we get ourselves single file and get spread out and see what these guys are made of as we go down the back straightaway one more time, and half a lap away from getting this race back underway.
These guys rolling slowly down through turns 3 and 4. Jared Mogard is showing some serious speed here over the last few races, but Jeff Ward up on his outside. You've also got Evan Black up there, part-time driver, but also very fast in this league. Corey, why don't you take it away for the restart?
Oh, certainly. Let's see what can happen here. We're exiting turn number 4. The 00 Jared Mogard is in the control car position. He is first on the inside lane, and pace car is in. He's already on the loud pedal work. Green flag back underway.
Jared Mogard with a restart that he needed there. Now early in this race, still Jeff Ward trying to play catch-up now, heading down to turn number 1. Evan Black trying to clear for the 3rd position.
Yeah, Black is on the outside groove right now. That is a little bit early in the race for that line to come in. Not sure if he's going to be able to withstand that position up there. Right behind him is Jordan Ashland in the 27. Looks like down the back straightaway looks like they will still be battling for that position as we have another caution.
Oh boy, I'll go back and see what that was. 78 car involved in that one, and multi-car crash down the backstretch. Looks like a 2-car wreck going down the back straightaway. 78 into 70. Looks like 78 got really loose heading up the corner. Car snapped back around, collected the 70. They both went to the outside wall, and nothing really anybody could do there, but that will bring out our second caution of the night here on lap 6.
Yep, so obviously not the race we were hoping to have, not the initial start we were hoping to have. 2 cautions and effectively as many attempts at starts here, so we are now 7 laps in. I don't really know if we will see pit stops up front. I don't really see too much of a cause to, but I mean, we'll see what these drivers have in mind for strategy.
See if there's any pit stops that happen here. Pit lane should be open this time by. And it looks like no takers. So, with that being said, we're going to step away for a brief moment during our second caution of the night. Stay with us. We'll be right back for the restart.
When I was 16 years old, I was working at a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car, you can't overdrive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game.
And we're back here to PTR TV for tonight's coverage of the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Cup Series here live at the Auto Club 200 Auto Club Speedway. We just completed our second caution of the race, so we will get underway for a third time here. Not much has changed up front. Still Jared Mogard leading the field, Jeff Ward to the outside.
These guys are stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing. Jared Mogard still holding the pole. Jeff Ward to his outside. Evan Black moved up to the third position.
Yep, so let's see if these drivers have kind of figured out how hectic it is and maybe can keep themselves under a little bit under containment here. Let's see if we can get underway and get some racing for you.
These guys roll down through turns number 3 and 4 right now. The iRacing official pace car ready to make its way down into pit lane once again. These guys all stacked up, ready to go back. Green flag racing, waiting for the 00 to get back on the throttle. Off he goes. Green flag back in the air.
And that was a very good jump from Mogard. He cleared by about a car length and a half, so he'll have the ability to choose whatever lane he wants. Entering one, they're going to be side by side for second.
Heading down through turns number 1 and 2. Now Evan Black trying to fight for that second position. Heading down at a turn number 2. Still going to be side by side, 2 by 2 throughout the pack.
See them fanning out. Looks like everyone is going to get single file for the moment. Ward will hold on to second position as Black will get third. And here comes Ty Hester trying to run the second groove there in 3 and 4. See if that works for him. It's not going to work. It's going to open the door for Jordan Ashland. Into the wall off turn 4 is Hester.
He keeps it going, keeps it collected. Battle for the lead, side by side, heading down into turn number 1.
Mogard to the inside. Ward's going to take it all the way to the third groove. Maybe he'll do a little bit of a crossover, try to cut below off turn number 2. He's not going to be able to. Big wiggle. He's going to lose some time, and Mogard will hang on.
Still trying to fight. Evan Black has Jordan Ashland in his rear view for the third position now. That may be a battle, but we've got the battle for the lead still. Ward pushes it all the way to the bottom, all the way to the white line. Now trying to duck underneath. Still going to hold side by side, 2 by 2, down off of turn number 4.
Here they come down the start-finish straightaway at the line. It looks like it's still going to be Mogard at the stripe, but here comes Ward with the position to the inside. Mogard will relinquish. Lead change 90 to P1.
Meanwhile, Jordan Ashland gave the 99 of Evan Black a little bit of a shove down off turn number 4. Then I got him loose. Evan Black starting to fall back.
Yeah, maybe trying to save his tires. Maybe it's not as quick at the moment, but either way, that 99 machine down to the 4th position. Looks like we have a little bit of a battle going on a couple positions behind this. Mark Emerson in the 22 and the 2 of Zach Callaway. Looks like a little bit of a crossover going on. 22 washes up the hill. 2 rather washes up the hill. Nothing going on, but here comes Michael Karobik making a pass.
72 got a little bit of loose down off of turn number 4. Still going to hold 2 by 2. Now be right beside that number 36 machine down into turn number 1. Looks like he has the advantage there running the bottom line. See if the 36 machine can get the run off. Not going to work that time by.
You see everybody really loose, really wiggling off the corners here, especially exiting turn number 2. We'll go back a little ways. I see a pass going on right now. That is between the number 16 of Steve Ritter and the 44 Tom Gianni. They are side by side, and also behind them Jared Haggerty and John Kennedy side by side for position.
Looks like there was a little bit of 3 wide back there between a couple of guys. Jim Foos, Brian Yazik, and John Kennedy all back here fighting for position mid-pack.
Remember, Yazik started all the way back in 30th. He's already gotten halfway through the field up in 15th position as he's underneath John Kennedy right now. This is for 14th position through turns number 1 and 2. Yazik all the way to the inside. He will clear for the spot.
Looks like things starting to settle out up towards the front here. Not too many position changes. Things kind of settled out single file for right now, Corey.
Yeah, I think finally everyone's kind of shaking the nerves off a little bit, shaking the rust off. Remember we had an off week in the league, so obviously at Auto Club, a difficult track. Took a little bit of time to get ourselves settled in, but I think everyone will get in their groove now, and we'll see what everyone's made of.
Yazik going underneath the 6 car of
Jared Haggerty.
Someone
kicking up some sparks off turn number 2 there.
Yazik trying to pinch Haggerty up to the high side this time, now heading down into turn number 3. Yazik with the advantage up on the low side. He'll gain another position.
Yeah, Yazik up to 14th position right now. Remember, Yazik is a very good driver in this league. He's 4th in the standings now, so he's trying to get himself methodically through the field, doing a good job of that. Back up front, you can still see some positions going on. We see the 72 of Krobik not done with Evan Black in the 4th position. Trying to take that spot away is Krobik. Right to the back bumper off turn number 2. This is where you can get really loose. This is where the car is really uneasy on the throttle.
Man, oh man, that gets really tight for such a wide racetrack. It seems like it always gets really tight, especially down off of turn number 2. Things start to clear out now. Now Yazik holds that position now there in 13th.
Yeah, the battle with Krobik and Black has kind of ceased for the moment. So we'll go back a couple spots. I see right now the 24 Alan Young and the 22 Mark Emerson. That looks like it's a battle shaping up right now, and they are nose to tail entering turns number 1 and 2. Looks like Alan Young washes up just a little bit more than Emerson. Might give Emerson this chance off of turn number 2 to make a pass. Not quite this time by.
22 machine had a little bit of a wiggle down off turn number 2 that last time by. These guys head down the back straightaway. It killed his momentum just a little bit, but that 22 machine, he's been sitting on a rocket ship so far here tonight. He could have some for a top 10.
Yeah, up 3 positions is the number 22 machine at the moment, and still the battle that will not seem to go away. I saw Black and Krobik having a battle again, but all of this is allowing the drivers behind them to catch up. Hester, Alan Young, and Emerson all closing on these two, all closing in on the battle for 4th.
Absolutely. So far, it's Evan Black, a 99 machine that still holds that 4th position. 72 of Krobik not giving up, however. He's trying to pull right to the back bumper of Black down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and right now Emerson has closed to the back bumper of Young, who's closed in on the Ty Hester, who is also closing in on Krobik all at the same time. So we're going to have a humongous battle for position right now. Big wiggle.
Oh boy, 36 through the grass. He manages to keep it straight somehow. How did he save that car?
He's just that daggone good. Remember, he was in the wall.
Hester.
He was in the wall a little bit earlier. Now you could tell he just did not want to give up the momentum there. He had the run. He stayed in the throttle. Obviously, that was not the right decision. So he's going to go all the way from about 6th to 13th.
Yeah, Ty Hester losing a lot of positions, losing even more positions still as those guys, he's still trying to get his momentum back up, still trying to get back into his rhythm. Big wiggle down off of turn number 4.
And here comes Krobik and Evan Black. This is for the 4th position. Krobik has the best position he's had yet to the inside groove. Black trying to hang on the best he can on the outside. Did a pretty good job of it, actually got the run off turn number 4. And let's see if he can hang on in 1 and 2.
As this race goes on, the high side will start to come into play, and these guys will be utilizing the 2nd and 3rd grooves, but it doesn't look like they've been quite worn in yet. The 99, Evan Black, looks like he may end up losing this position. Maybe he got a little bit loose. No, still going to hold him next to the 72 machine. Very impressive on the outside. Manages to hang on that position.
Yeah, unfortunately on the iRacing service, we won't see the Larson line come into play. These drivers won't be running right up against the fence, but they can work themselves up a lane or two.
Well, I've seen it here before. I definitely have seen it.
Well, I hope that is the case, because that is racing I like to see. But for the moment, Evan Black utilized those upper grooves and has pulled away from Krobik just a little bit, as the battle for the 22 and the 24 still underway for 6th and 7th. And who is that? Brian Yazik all the way in the top 10.
Yeah, Yazik really pushing his way up here, Corey. And you know, it really is going to be a tight racing service all night here. So I expect with the cooler weather, these guys aren't going to be able to move around as much. It's going to be more towards the bottom of the racetrack all night. But you will see these guys moving up about a lane or so towards the end of this race.
Yeah, so that outside lane can most certainly prevail off of the corners. You can get that run. You can pinch them down just a little bit. I was seeing a couple drivers getting loose off turn number 4, but right now, still side by side they are for the 6th position.
Mark Emerson and Alan Young still battling it out. Now, coming up on the 72 machine of Krobik, these guys are, and they're coming up on him fast.
Yeah,
24, big wiggle down off of turn number 2.
And remember, Krobik is still trying to figure out if he's faster than Evan Black. He had a run on Black for a couple laps, but Evan Black has kind of gotten into his little rhythm here, or maybe Krutz overheated the tires a little bit. He's dropped back, and now he has some extreme fire from the 22 machine. As
a little bit of a tap there from the 22, it looked like.
I do want to make note, we did just lose Jordan Ashland out of the race, I think, due to technical problems. Jordan Ashland was running in the upper half of the field from what I do remember, but he is out of the race at the moment. We'll see if he's able to rejoin, but tough break for him. But the battle still goes on up here.
A lot of drivers dropped out of this server during practice. Jordan Ashland is back, by the way. One thing to point out, a lot of drivers dropped out of the server during practice, and if we get 18 of those during the race, his 72 car, Krutz, up into the wall, he manages to save that race car. But if 18 drivers drop out before halfway, the race will be postponed and moved to a different date. If it happens after halfway, if it ever does happen after halfway, then the race will be called right then and there.
But we did see he was running on the 3rd position. He dropped off the scoreboard for quite a while, but he is back, so that is a good break for the 27. But some great battling going on a little bit further in the pack right now. I saw Troy Haight in the 28 machine. He was side by side, but he is actually closing on a couple drivers at the moment. But behind him, Tom Gianni was under fire from 6 of Jared Haggerty. Big wiggle from the 89 of John Kennedy at the edge of the camera screen there. He's all the way to the bottom, losing a ton of spots.
Yeah, John Kennedy lost a lot of momentum there. As long as it looks like these guys coming around the damaged car, the 62 machine, he's still trying to hang into this thing. That's Nick Curling.
But we'll go focus on someone we haven't focused on since the initial pass that he made. Jeff Ward out here and kind of running his own little zip code here. Maybe setting himself on a little trip to Los Angeles after tonight's race. Let's see how the battle tracker here, how much his lead is. He is up by 2.3 seconds, and I have a hard time believing this, but he was almost 0.4 of a second faster last lap than Mogard.
Yeah, that's crazy. A lot of guys struggling with the handling of their race car, I'm hearing. You know, this is a very difficult racetrack, and with this cooler weather, it makes it, which was never used to be a thing in the service, by the way, it almost makes it, it creates a new set of challenges, Corey. It puts this thing to where, you know, it doesn't turn, but it turns too much at the same time, and it makes it really difficult for these drivers because they've really never had to experience that before.
And there was another change on the iRacing service a little bit ago, where some grip levels on various tracks were kind of made more real life compared to what we had at the time. And I believe Auto Club did undergo a significant grip loss to kind of accommodate where it stands in the real world at the present time. And that obviously made it a lot more difficult to navigate. We were used to kind of a certain way to drive the track, but with this extreme less grip that we have, and especially the low downforce machines we have, it creates a very difficult situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And but yeah, Jeff Ward kind of checked out of this thing right now, and Jared Mogard just kind of chilling back there, and looks like Jordan Ashland hanging out in the 3rd position.
Brian Yazik, how is he in the top 5 now? I have no idea, but he has just made a move past Mark Emerson. He's made a move past the 24 of Alan Young, sets his sights on Evan Black. But yes, Brian Yazik, and he pitted on one of the prior yellows, so he does have 7-lap fresher tires, albeit mainly under pacing conditions those laps are, but still he does have some fresher tires, and all the way up to 5th now. Very impressive run.
It's like a couple of guys coming to pit road, Corey.
First set of stops already underway on lap number 30 we are on right now. See Jim Foose on pit lane. I see Tom Gianni on pit lane. A couple drivers have already made service. Nobody up front, but actually Brian Yazik. Oh yes, I'm sorry, he already did pit, but we still wait on other drivers to see when they are going to pit, what strategies they're going to do. I'd have to imagine if this stays green from this point on, it'd be about a 2-stop race. So we'll see when the leaders decide to bring it in.
Yeah, Jeff Ward, Jared Mogard, Jordan Ashland, those guys, I'm sure all going to want to bring it in soon. Or Jordan Ashland may have already brought it in. That he has. 27 has pitting.
He's on pit road as we speak right now, the number 27 machine, so he was in the 3rd position. So this may very well instigate the other drivers up front deciding to come to pit lane. We'll see this time by. We can let you know that these drivers have already dropped about 2 seconds, very nearly, off of their best lap times of the race. So that is the tire wear that we do have to endure tonight. Caution on the speedway.
Looks like the number 40, Woody Mahan, took a spill through the grass. And yeah, he got really loose. The back bumper to 89 down off the corner and kind of spun her down into the grass. That was enough to bring out the yellow.
Yeah, so for drivers that already pitted, this could be very well catastrophic. They'll have to take a wave around, most notably being Jordan Ashland, who I do not believe is in the lucky dog position, so he may have to take the wave around and endure a couple lap older tires than those who are pitting right now. But we will get wound up behind the iRacing.com pace car. Jeff Ward is catching him as we speak on the back straightaway. Jeff Ward is definitely the class of the field, was up by about 3+ seconds over Jared Mogard there. Evan Black he gained a spot there due to Ashland pitting up to 3rd. Brian Yazik from about 30th to 4th there. And then Alan Young the top 5 at the moment. And we should have a whole bunch of activity on pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. And well, here comes our leaders down into pit road.
Whoa, what is going on there? 37 is around.
What?
That's Ryan Tupper around.
Oh, more cut. No, no, no. What is he doing? Ryan Tupper just pulled out in front of the field coming to pit lane. A bunch of damaged race cars back there now.
Yeah, that all started at the top end of the field. It was about 5th or 6th around Evan Black and company around there. There was some kind of I don't know what exactly happened. Didn't quite see it. Unfortunately, we can't go back and show you, but
I don't know. He just slammed on his brakes and then Yazik rear-ended him and sent him around. I have no idea what he was doing or what his intentions were, but then he whips back around and collects the rest of the field coming into pit road.
You said that was Brian Yazik that got affected from that, huh?
Yes.
So let's go check out Yazik's machine and see where he stands after that impact. Because remember,
some left front damage for sure, Corey.
Yeah, because he had a very good run going, and yeah, some left front damage that will cause some aerodynamic issue for him, maybe a couple miles an hour on the straightaways if he was not able to repair it all. So yeah, I'm sure that one will not fly too well with the officials unless there was some kind of technical reason behind it, but from what we're understanding, it doesn't seem that that was likely the case. As we are under, I believe it to be our 3rd caution of the race for 10 laps right now. Completed 34 of the 100 on the race thus far. Jeff Ward has up front right now, has led 22 of the lap. We'll give you a quick rundown of the field right now. Jeff Ward is your leader. Jared Mogard in second. We have Evan Black in third. Michael Krobik in fourth. Alan Young in fifth. Troy Haight in sixth. Mitch Brown in seventh. Tyler Seville in eighth. And then rounding out the top 10 is John Kennedy in ninth and Josh Gallagher in the 10th position. And rounding out your top 20, David Howard Jr. in 11th. Sean Music in 12th. Brian Yazik back to 13th after that little pit road incident. Steve Ritter in 14th, Woody Mahan in 15th, Jordan Miller in 16th, Jay Graves Jr. in 17th, and then Zach Calloway, Kenneth Robin, and Jason Stewart is your top 20 at the moment. You can see all these drivers right now on the racetrack that are ahead of Jeff Ward right now. They will all be receiving the wave around. You can see Jim Foose up there, Ty Hester, I believe that's the 78 machine, I do believe that is, as well Stephen Tremblay. So all those drivers will be, actually Tremblay does come in pit lane, but all those other drivers will be getting the wave around. They did not pit, they will get their laps back, but they will be on older tires.
Would like to point out, Corey, something that was just pointed out to me was this will be about a one-stop race from here. So, provided that there are no more yellows, these guys can go about 40 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel.
Now the question is, and apparently it's already been answered, is it more advisable to run the fuel load out than it is to maybe split the difference and get the tires sooner? But from what I'm sure you talked to a driver, it seems as though they will run out the fuel loads in these cars.
Yeah, from here, it does not seem advisable to split it into two runs, just because if this thing were to go green, you would not really have enough time to catch up, especially with the speeds that Ward has been running.
Yeah, Ward is definitely out to a very good pace, and we will see if it doesn't seem as though anybody else has anything for him, but still we're only about a third of the way distance through tonight's race, so anything is most certainly possible. But Brandon, take it away for the next restart of the race.
The iRacing official pace car ready to make that hard left turn down into pit lane. Once again, these guys slowly rolling down through turns 3 and 4. Jeff Ward has been sitting on a rocket ship all night here tonight. Jared Mogard his outside, Evan Black in the 3rd position. These guys ready to go back. Green flag racing. Pace car is in. Ward is on the throttle. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, wasting no time at all is Ward on that start. He will pull away by about 3 or so car lengths. Evan Black in a prime position to take the 2nd spot. He will do so. Mogar is going to have to dive in on the outside, see if he can stay with him.
Mogar trying to stay with Evan Black. 72 right on Evan Black's back bumper down to 99 machine. 72 ducking it down low. Maybe looking to go 3 wide. They almost did. 72 backs out of it.
Yeah, very wise decision from Krobik a little early in the race for that aggressive of a move, but they still are side by side for 2nd. Black to the inside, Mogard to the outside. Where is Krobik going to go? Is he going to try to push Mogard to the outside? Looks like he is going to do that. Nope, he will not. Goes to the inside with Black.
Kind of looking for the middle ground right now. It looks like he definitely could have gone 3 wide, but if he didn't clear, it could have been very bad going down into turn number 3 that last time behind. These guys head on at turn number 2 now. Now Evan Black, a little bit of a wiggle down off of turn number 2 that time by 72 ducks to the outside following Mogard.
A wiggle?
A what?
A wiggle?
You know what I meant.
You do it to me, but either way, here comes Black to hold the position. He will actually lose the position to Mogard. Here comes a crossover from Krobik off of turn number 4. This will be a side-by-side battle as Black drops potentially back to the 4th position. Has to watch out because Alan Young and Troy Haight are in close quarters ready to pounce on this battle.
A lot of guys have been struggling heavily with the handling of their race cars, Corey. Something that these guys really do have to watch out for here tonight. As the 99 up on the outside, 72 on the inside. They're going to be side by side heading down the back straightaway.
Looks like Krobik will fall back in the line, at least for the time being, and we'll go back a little ways and see some other battling going on. We have John Kennedy hanging on to 8th, and remember Brian Yazik after that awkward pit road incident is trying to navigate himself back to where he was. He's going to look to the inside of Kennedy and try to get the 8th spot back.
And something to point out, Brian Yazik does still have a little bit of left front damage, Corey, so something that will likely be affecting him tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too big of an issue thus far. He is hanging with these guys as best as he can and doing a very good job of that, but he is side by side for this battle, and we also still have the 72 and the 99 side by side, so battles all amongst the top 10.
Yeah, a lot of these guys trying to fight for position right now. It looks like going back up to the Kruvik Black battle, it looks like the 24 of Alan Young wants to be a part of this thing as well.
Alan Young, remember, he has kind of been hanging on to the latter half of the top 10, but he's taken this opportunity to make his move in 5th now. He has 3rd right in front of him. If he can make the right moves, he's going to dive to the inside below Evan Black, who has a little bit of a wiggle on corner entry, but also the 24 hit the yellow line, the white line rather, and got loose and lost all that time.
Kruvik, big wiggle down off of turn number 2 that last time by. Still manages to hold his momentum. Black couldn't get the run off, and it looks like Young trying to sneak up on these guys, but they've got more company coming as well.
But something, Brandon, we did not talk about, we've been kind of neglecting it up front. Mogard is doing a pretty good job of staying with Ward. He's only dropped back about 0.4 of a second, so maybe he's following what Ward's doing, because he is most certainly not dropping the way he was.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to play catch-up to Ward right now. Looks like Ward really gets the run on exit. Mogard really driving
Yazik in the wall.
Ryan Yazik, the 55 machine back there.
Yeah, I just saw him out of the corner of the picture. He did hit the wall off turn number 2. Is still carrying on, but some more damage kind of evened out the situation there. He had some left front damage. He had some right front damage to go along with it.
Maybe he just wanted to even things out.
Adjusting the handling there, perhaps, but maybe not the ideal sense. But here comes Alan Young up to the 4th position right now. Is the number 24 machine picking him off methodically. He will clear Black with ease, and let's see if he can do anything with the car in front of him, Michael Kruvik.
Also coming up behind Evan Black is that 20, I believe it's the 28 machine that it is, and as well as the 18.
Yeah, Troy Haight and Mitch Brown getting himself back into the battle, getting himself in the battle. He the highest he's been running. Caution on the speedway.
Caution on the speedway.
Jim Foose is, I don't think you're supposed to do that. Jim Foose was riding the catch fence there. I mean, Tony Hawk would be proud, but unfortunately this is not the X Games, so.
Big wreck, 64. Foose is coming up alongside him, 64. Turns up into him. Foose actually jumps over his hood up to the outside wall and rides the safety barrier up against the catch fence. Big wreck down there through turns 1 and 2. Flips himself onto his roof down off of turn number 4. We're in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Man,
all right,
oh man.
I just got confirmation from some of my broadcast partners on another channel that says that instant replay should be available for you, so we will test that out. I guess test that out the hard way right now. We'll try to find what happened to Foose there when we can, but we'll go back up front right now, and we should have some pit stops going on.
So these guys all bringing it back into pit lane this time by. Jared Mogard and Jeff Ward both pitting there. Jeff Ward had to back up a little bit. And Jim Foose dropping connection out of the server involuntarily. I believe that is driver number 3 so far of the night.
Yeah, unfortunately was not able to catch that wreck when it did happen, but we obviously kind of saw the end result of it there. He was riding the catch fence there, which said is not a normal circumstance, but regardless of such, it is Jared Mogard winning the race off of pit lane. Michael Krobik in second. Ward dropping back to third with that missed pit entry there.
But these guys under pace speed once again here.
So we will take a very quick break here, so we will be right back with you for the restart. Stay tuned to here on PTR TV.
Our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it, and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own 2 you know, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. You know, dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to, you know, experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing.
And we're back here on PTR TV. We were able to dig back in the archive and wanted to find that wreck that did happen on the back straightaway entering turn number 3. Jim Foose to the outside. He was pinched against the wall from the 64, and you could see that that was a very, well, Brandon, that was an interesting ride. Can we say it any other way than that?
No, it looked like he got pinched up and kind of jumped over the front of the car that came up on him, and next thing he knows, he's up riding up against the catch fence.
Yeah, and yeah, that is an interesting sight. I don't have.
I don't think I've ever seen a wreck like that.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be politically correct sometimes, but I don't have a blunt or politically correct way to say that. That was just an interesting wreck. But regardless of that, we are going to have another restart in less than 1 lap's time, and it is going to be Mogard back where he started the race. He is going to be the control car on the inside for the restart. He's going to have Jeff Ward to the outside, and then behind them, I'm sorry, Michael Krobik to the outside, rather. Jeff Ward will be in third with Evan Black to his outside. So here we come through turns number 3 and 4 right now. We'll see what can happen here as we approach the halfway point in tonight's race. Bogart to the inside, Krobik to the outside. Pace car about to take the hard left into the Auto Club Speedway pit lane. There it is, and back underway on the loud pedal, green flag in the air.
Jared Mogard with a huge jump. Would like to quickly point out the 4th car of the race has just dropped out. Don't think we're going to get up to 18, but there's been a lot of people so far. As Ward with a big wiggle down off the apron on the bottom of the racetrack.
And we want to let you feel the thunder of all the horsepower here tonight. So take a step back, get ready, and enjoy the engine sounds. We're going to let you feel the thunder here on PTR TV. hope you enjoyed that. Now we are back to the action here. Up front, Mogard has achieved about a 0.8 of a second lead over Michael Krobik. Alan Young is in third under a huge battle right now with Jeff Ward and Evan Black.
24 up on the high side right now, down 90 down on the low side. Evan Black kind of riding in between those guys, now moving down to the bottom of the racetrack. Very, very close racing going on all around.
Here comes Black with a little bit of a look to the inside, not happening right now, but Ward is back to the third position. But I'll tell you, Alan Young not going down without a fight, trying to stay to the right rear quarter panel on the outside, but is not able to do so. He will relinquish this position.
He's got a pretty good run heading down through turns 1 and 2 right now. Evan Black right to his back bumper now.
Yeah, Black right now is behind Alan Young. He has to watch out as well because Troy Haight right behind him right now. If he makes the wrong move, he may lose the position. Black's going to dive to the inside of the 24 of Alan Young. Nothing doing this time by, but behind him, he has two drivers ready to pounce. Jordan Ashland and Troy Haight.
Yeah, Jordan Ashland has been kind of running up in front of this thing all night. He's falling back and trying to gain those spots back. He's just outside of the top 5 right now. Almost some contact with the back bumper of the 28 machine.
Yeah, Troy Haight had a little bit, almost some incident there with Evan Black, but nothing going on. Everything was able to get himself straight out. But here comes off the back straightaway. Someone loose on the back straightaway. Caution on the speedway.
Number 6 up and over. Jared Haggerty, big wreck down the back straightaway. Second car to go on his roof tonight.
Let's go on PTR TV replay on board with...
There was 2 separate wrecks there.
Yeah, he got hit by, I want to say it was the 41. Haggerty did anyways.
Well, the 2 cars spun around behind them, and then the 41 hit the wall, and that spun the 6 around, and up and over, big time rollover from the number 6 machine of Haggerty down the back straightaway. Lands back in all fours.
But that is now a little bit past the halfway point in the race, and it has been about 8 laps since we went green, since we had pit stops, so I'd have to imagine the majority of the leaders up front will be on their way for 4 fresh tires.
So these guys making their way back to pit lane this time. Here comes the field.
Everybody to pit lane. Don't see a soul staying on the speedway. A couple drivers later in the pack, so let's see if any positions change. Remember, we saw Ward lose a couple spots on the last set of pit stops. Let's see if everything goes smoother for the 90 this time by.
Jeff Ward just completely missed his stall, still trying to get in. This is gonna hurt him bad. He's still struggling to get in. His pit stop hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, this is catastrophic for the 90. We know how important pit road is. You can lose a lot more spots on pit lane, and it makes it that much harder to get him on the track. He just came in at a very bad angle, a little bit too hot, and this is gonna send him all the way back to the 18th position.
Man, oh man.
It's now Michael Krobik, first time tonight, being shown as the leader. As what happened to Jared Mogard?
Jared Mogard has been having connection issues for most of the night, but
he had a 41-second pit stop.
Yeah, that
there
wasn't it. I have no idea.
Did he have some damage perhaps he was trying to repair? I mean,
I didn't see anything. I didn't see him collecting any incidents. I didn't see anything happen to him, but man. And by the way, for those who are counting at home, we are now up to 5 cars that have dropped out of the server.
So a little ways to go, and I think we'll be okay with not achieving our kind of default race goal of 18, but
this is a lot more than I've seen in the past, though, which is a little bit concerning, but these guys all getting back in.
Well, but let's see what Krobik can do here for the first time in the lead position, and Alan Young in second right now, also the highest he's been. Jordan Ashland was kind of up and down in the race with a couple issues he had, but has managed to get himself back into the third position. Troy Haight in fourth. Evan Black been in the top 5 the majority of the race. And then in 6th, we have David Howard Jr., who kind of methodically has gotten himself a good position. Mark Emerson's been up there. Tyler Seville, Mitch Brown, and Josh Gallagher, your top 10 at the moment. So some drivers that have been making some gains here in the race. See here on the graphic right now, Howard Jr. in the 14, up 27 spots since the beginning of the race. Next one is Mitch Brown, up 20. So a couple drivers really improving on their qualifying efforts.
Corey, we just got word that Jared Mogard fell back that far because of a speeding penalty.
Okay, well that...
So he was to the rear of the field either way.
All right, so maybe he had some little bit extra work too, because usually that wouldn't take that much extra time. But
no, it's a drop to the end, and maybe he scraped the wall a couple times and tried to get the damage fixed or whatever it may be. But
between,
either way, he was going to the back of the field, so might as well use the time.
But between that and Ward's issues, 2 fastest drivers in the race are going to have to play a big game of catch-up right now, and not the time
on this, but they should be able to make it on fuel from here.
That would be about 43 laps of racing, which is about a little less than 100 miles. It's about 80 some odd miles, which is usually in the realm of doability. Most of the time you could make it about 80 to 90.
Thing that they gotta do to prepare for their pit stops.
Yeah, sim racing is not the easiest of things to do. Obviously a lot going on behind the wheel, a lot going on behind the scenes, but it all makes you the better driver if you can do it successfully. But here we come off of turn number 4, about to take lap number 57. Michael Krobik in the key position, P number 1 on the loud pedal. We're back underway.
Heading down the front straightaway now, Krobik with a great restart there. Those guys gonna be side by side, 2 by 2, down into turn number 1.
Jordan Ashland now the beneficiary of the 2nd position. He's able to clear the 24 of Alan Young to the inside. We head down the back straightaway at Auto Club Speedway, and right now Evan Black in the 4th position. He is under fire. Troy Haight trying to take it around the outside.
Troy Haight up there in the 28 machine trying to get something done on the outside. Evan Black tucks it down to the inside now. It looks like Haight is going to have the run on the outside.
But here comes a battle for the 2nd position. Ashland is now to the outside of Alan Young. This is, I said, for the 2nd position. Everybody's shaking, fanning out on the front straightaway.
Alan Young trying to move up to the 2nd position. He got it that time across the line. Can he hold it off from Jordan Ashland?
I think he's going to be able to clear. This is going to open the door for Evan Black on the inside of Ashland off turn number 2, but I don't think he's going to have the momentum to do so. We'll go down the back straightaway, and here comes Troy Haight, still also looking for that 4th position.
Evan Black to the inside, not going to be able to get it done against Jordan Ashland that last time by. All these guys trying to fight for positions, very loose down off of the corner that time by.
Yeah, everybody is all over the racetrack right now, but it looks like up front at least we have kind of settled in for position, but we have a little bit going on here, the 63 and the 18, Tyler Seville and Mitch Brown. Mitch Brown to the outside, Seville to the inside, but looks like Brown will take over the 8th position.
Brown's shown some pretty good speed in that 18.
Big wiggle from the 63. Yazik has some contact. The 70 involved as well. Big shakeup there off of turn number 4. Huge stack up right now behind Tyler Seville. Looks like everyone is able to get through, but here they're still stacked up here through the likes of, we have Yazik, we have Gianni, we have Jeff Ward trying to get himself back through the field. Everybody is all over the racetrack.
Man, oh man, these guys trying to fight their way up through the field once again here, and man, oh man.
Yeah, so here comes Jeff Ward to the inside of John Kennedy. He's trying to get to the 11th position now. Kennedy way up the racetrack right now. He'll get that position with ease, as we have Tyler Seville side by side with the 70 of Scott Eckridge, who is somehow competitive in that machine right now with all that front end damage.
Jeff Ward coming through that, just the gaggle of cars back there, Corey, is unbelievable.
Yeah, everyone was stacked up there behind Tyler Seville for a moment. A little bit of smoke there on the back straightaway. Everyone was stacked up.
Hearing someone may have gone up and over to the inside, no caution. Can't seem to get word who that was.
Yeah, I can't see anything on the telemetry, so not sure if something happened, but we'll follow some. I don't know which battle to follow. There's battling all over the speedway right now. We'll go up front just a little bit, and we see the 22 of Mark Emerson taking a dive under Mitch Brown. This is for the 7th position. Trying to get the run to the inside, trying to get the momentum on the bottom groove is the 22 of Emerson, but he's not going to be able to sustain the momentum off turn number 2. Brown will hang on.
Getting word, Corey, that it was a 78 up and over down the back straightaway. Big hit, barrel roll down the back stretch. He is now gone. That was Stephen Trombley.
Yeah,
but we do stay green.
We do stay green indeed, and we still have battles going on up front. This is for the 4th position. Troy Haight still trying to make some work with Evan Black, trying to get by, nothing doing. You can see Troy Haight trying to run that 2nd, almost nearly 3rd groove. Not working for him, almost opened the door for David Howard Jr.
So Michael Krobuk still leading this thing with the... he's been pretty fast all night here tonight. Alan Young showing some really good speed in that race car. Jordan Ashland sitting there in 3rd.
Yeah, right now, Alan Young only dropped off by about half of a second from Krobuk. We'll pull out the primetime battle tracker, see who of the two is faster and by how much. We will actually give the advantage to Alan Young by about a 10th last time by.
But Corey, don't look now. Jeff Ward up to the 8th position.
Ward has passed Mark Emerson. Next person in his sights is Mitch Brown in the 18. We'll also bring up the battle tracker for this battle, and last time by a whole 3/10 faster, Ward over Brown. See, he just came in from about 3 or 4 car lengths back, got to the inside nearly of the 18 in 3 and 4. He drove it in really deep, but did not lose any time and actually gained some momentum.
Absolutely unbelievable the speed that Jeff Ward is carrying in that race car tonight.
Yeah, he has. I mean, remember, we are the exact line and technique to get around the speedway much better than anybody else.
Down through turns 3 and 4 for the 2nd position right now. This is exactly what Krobuk wants to see in his mirror.
Yeah, this will allow him to pull out as they race side by side, run a little bit slower lap times. They'll be side by side at the stripe. We'll see who gets it at the stripe. It looks like Young will hold on, but in 1 and 2, the outside seems to be prevailing. Let's see if Ashland can prove that wrong.
Ashland to the inside of the 27, Young to the outside of the 24. Ashland, little bit of a wiggle there. They're still going to hold it side by side down the back straightaway. 27, low side. They've got a little bit of a lap car up ahead. Ashland going to have to back off.
Yeah, that is the 6th machine of...
almost contact.
That is a 6th machine of Jared Haggerty trying to get out of the way, but kind of played as a pick in the favor of Alan Young. Will allow Young to hang on for a little bit longer in that 2nd position.
So now the question is, can Alan Young catch your leader, Michael Krobuk?
It's hard to tell, Brandon, because I think Ashland is faster than both of them at this point. Once we can get a clean lap in, we'll see who is faster on the lap graphic. But we'll see what happens as we're on lap number 68. When we take lap number 69, we'll see who of the top 5 is the fastest car. It's a little bit of a wiggle, big wiggle there from the 24 off turn 4, maybe a little bit too hard on the throttle, but as we take lap number 69, we will find out, as I do some quick math here, that as I stand, the 27 fastest car on the track in the top 5 at least, only car in the third on the 3/10-second bracket. 99 and 28 actually ran identical laps, something you don't see too often. And now, Brandon, this is something we talked about, that you got your information from your source on pit strategy, and you were told that pretty much if this does go green, which as it spreads out is more likely to do so, these drivers are going to be prone to pit on the fuel load and stretch it all the way to the end. But if anybody is going to try to play the tire strategy, I feel like it's going to happen within about 5 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And these guys, I really do not expect any of these guys to pit from here, but I could be taken by surprise. But look at Jeff Ward, Corey. Look at how far he has come.
Yeah, he is up to 4th spot. Remember, I believe he started in the 18th position, and he's going to gain some time on the 2nd place battle because they are again side by side at the moment, and Alan Young will finally relinquish the spot to Jordan Ashland, who is now in the 2nd position. Caution on the speedway.
Caution flag is out. Trying to find who that is.
Raymond Castile in the 84 is in the front straightaway grass.
Yep, that would be the cause of the caution. Let's see what happened to him. It looked like he just got loose.
Yeah, just a wiggle off turn 4 and just kind of a harmless spin to the inside, but enough to trigger the pace car to exit pit lane and take control of the field for a moment, and that will completely negate any strategy call that I was just making there, because this will put us in a position where, without a doubt, this should be the final pit stop unless we have another caution after this. We should have pit stops from everybody as we ran about 20 laps in that little segment. We will have 27 to go this time by. Probably go green with about 23 laps to go. So it should be a pretty short stint to the end, but here we come off turn number 4 and we'll have some pit stops. Remember how bad of a stop Ward had last time by. Hopefully he learned from his mistakes.
We'll see.
As everyone is in pit lane right now, nobody's staying on the speedway. That would be a death call if you did. So let's just see. Jeff Ward.
He does make it in.
Yeah, he did make his pit stall cleanly that time by. So with that number 1 pit stall, we'll see if any advantage does come his way. It looks like, by a nose, Ashland's going to win the race off pit lane. Josh Gallagher being scored the leader this time by. He did not, he went through pit lane, but just drove straight through it, did not make his pit stop, so number 96 is technically the leader. He was not scored the leader, so if he was doing that for a bonus point, he will not have gotten the benefit of that just yet. So it will shake out, assuming he does pit, to Jordan Ashland being the leader. And Jeff Ward, remember the up and down race he had after that mid-race incident, We're in mid-race. I can't remember what happened at this point, what it was. But he was in the 18th position. Now he's back to 3rd. He will be back to 2nd. But the 96 stays on the racetrack. I think he will be registered as the leader on the racetrack, so he will get a bonus point as of now, as he's been scored the leader. So we will see if he does pit on the next round by.
Yeah, so right now, it is Josh Gallagher being shown as your leader, but yeah, as Corey was saying before. Now, Corey, with this caution, not too many laps left of the race. You know, we'll go green. There will be, you know, rounds 25-ish laps to go. Well, what do you expect for the end of this thing?
I mean, we're going to have probably about 23 laps to go. And it's not a long run, but it's also not necessarily a short run. So you will still see the cream rise to the top. You're not going to be able just to go full bore and make it work. You're still going to have to kind of run your race and kind of plan out your run. So I still do expect the fast guys to be where they should be. So I'm still putting my money on the 90, but I think the 27 may have something for them. As the 96 will come to pit lane this time by. He got his point, and he will get his tires and start the race at the back of the line. Something I do want to bring up as well as we have the 1 to go. Obviously been a little bit of a light month here on PTR TV. We will bring you ASRS every Tuesday. We'll be bringing you the Rivalry Racing League on Thursdays, and the Hardline Racing League will soon be picking up on Fridays in a couple weeks. But with a lot of stuff going on, we've been asked our opinion on some stuff in the sim racing world lately, so we may be very well doing a kind of a round table style discussion vlog, if you will. So something that I think would be kind of fun to do, kind of give our take on some stuff and maybe provoke some discussion on the sim racing world. So you can stay tuned for that. It should be going off here within the next week or so, so stay tuned to that here on PTR TV. And here we go for the restart. 27 of Ashland to the inside, Jeff Ward to the outside. Second row, Evan Black on the inside. In the 3rd spot, David Howard Jr. in the 4th spot on the outside. Best position he's been in all day. We'll see what Ashland can do here as the pace car is about to take the hard left into pit lane. There it does, and here comes the 27 already on the loud pillar. Green flag underway here at Auto Club.
Jordan Ashland got the jump, but here comes Jeff Ward, the 90 machine, heading down into turn number 1. Evan Black actually underneath Ward right now. Wobbles making it 3 wide.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hang on. We know how fast that 90 is compared to the field right now. Black will not be able to hold on to the inside lane. Jeff Ward is still in second with a huge run and will already be closing in on the 27.
Jeff Ward sitting on a rocket ship all night, now coming out of turn number 4, already inching his way closer and closer to the back bumper to 27.
You can see all the shaking and baking going on from about second on back, but Ward is already nearly into the lead spot. Here we come for second position.
3 wide behind them.
Entering turn number 1, they're still holding it. We have Bogard, we have Emerson, we have Howard Jr. still 3 wide exiting turn number 2. Plenty of room here at Auto Club, but they do clear that successfully. Very good bit of driving. But up front, battle for the lead.
Side by side, heading down through turns 3 and 4 right now. 27 up on the high side. That's Jordan Ashland. Jeff Ward, the 90, down on the low side, coming off of turn number 4. Jeff Ward Not quite gonna clear. Ashland fighting back on the high side.
Yeah, you cannot give up now. There's 22 laps to go in the race. Every spot, you never know if you're going to get another shot at it. Here comes the 27. He's going to try to pinch Ward down, bog his momentum down, try to hold on to the lead. Really close quarters off turn number 2, and I think the 27 will have the runoff too. Down the back straightaway, a little bit of an advantage to the 27. Ward trying to pound it on the inside groove there, but it's hard to get that momentum. Washes up the track just a little bit. Also does Ashland, washes up the track. Here we come off turn 4. It'll be a drag race down the front straightaway.
Ashland doing an awesome job holding that high side. Jeff Ward going to take the lead that time across the line. Ashland not letting him clear. That time, Ashland, Ward pushed him up the racetrack a little bit there on corner entry. Ashland did not get the entry that he wanted, but he's going to cross him over down into turn number 2.
Here we come down the back straightaway. They are side by side for the lead at the moment. 27 looks to the inside groove. Ward trying to hang on to the outside. Ward has what I believe to be the preferred position at the moment. And Ashland will clear. But at the moment, here comes Ward with the run down the front straightaway. Is going to have the position yet again to the outside groove. This is where you want to be, in my opinion. Ward to the outside washes up the track a little bit too far, so Ashland will be able to clear. Amazing battle for the lead right now. Entering turn number 3, here comes Jordan Ashland to the inside. Here comes Ward to the inside, burning in each other's tire tracks at the moment. Ward's probably using a stuff up now, but he needs to get by as soon as he can. You can see they're blocking each other, swerving down the straightaway, trying to break the draft to the outside. Is Ward here on the front straightaway? Let's see if he can get the run. He's to the right rear quarter panel in entering turn number 1. Ashland holding that inside groove. I expect a crossover here down the back straightaway.
Ashland holding out front. Ward with a bit of a wiggle down off the corner, shooting it down all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, side by side once again.
Ward to the inside right now. This is where I think he does not want to be. Ashland kind of has the opportunity up top to keep that momentum wound up. He nearly gets into the fence off turn number 4, but he's hanging on and still remains door to door with the 90. This is also bringing caution on the speedway.
Flag is out.
John Kennedy spun around on the front straightaway. See what happened to Kennedy. See here, off of turn number 4, kind of running his own, just got a little bit loose. Actually, someone in the wall ahead of him, but ultimately Kennedy just got loose, just spun in the middle of the racetrack, and just very light contact with the outside fence. But technically, Ward being scored as the leader after all that. We should have another set of pit stops after this, and it'll wind up giving us an even shorter run to the end. As we are entering turn number 3, everybody is behind the iRacing.com pace car. We currently have 26 cars on the lead lap right now. Jared Haggerty is the final one. And here we come down pit lane. All of the leaders entering pit lane for what could be the final time here tonight. Jeff Ward, who has been the dominant car all race. Remember, he's had a couple issues with his pit entry here tonight. But this is going to be the money stop. Who is going to make the mistakes? Who is going to have their crew on their game and get out of pit lane with the ideal position. Here we come down pit lane to find all that out. Exiting the pits, looks like Jeff Ward will get the race off of pit lane, or will he? Actually, yes, he will. So Jeff Ward will get the race off pit lane. We're going to take a quick side-by-side commercial break. We'll be right back with you for the exciting finish here at Auto Club.
Because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
And we're back here to PTR TV for what should be the finish to tonight's ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Cup Series Auto Club 200 here tonight. 15 laps to go after we've had another caution and everyone back to pit road for some fresh tires. In dominating car of the race, Jeff Ward is in the prime position. Jordan Ashland in the 27 to the outside. We have Jared Mogard, the pole sitter, to the inside. Evan Black in the 4th spot to the outside. So here we come through turns number 3 and 4. About to take 14 laps to go in the race as the pace car soon to take the hard left in the pit lane. Pace car is in. And on the lot pedal, Jeff Ward, we're back green flag racing.
Coming down the front straightaway, Jeff Ward with another good restart once again, but not as good as the others have gotten all night here. Jared Mogart, 00 hanging with him. Jordan Ashland also trying to gain that second position back.
Yeah, here we come side by side on the back straight. The 00 and the 27 side by side. This is exactly what Ward wants to see. Battling for position. That'll give him the opportunity to drive away into the sunset here and get the victory with ease, but still looks like the 00 of Mogart has cleared. He's going to wash up the track a little bit with the 27, who's going to try to get a run off of turn number 4. A little bit of a crossover, not quite.
Heading down the front straightaway, Jordan Ashland trying to take away that second position. Now heading down into turn number 1, going to be underneath the 00 machine down through turns 1 and 2 once again. Jared Mogart still hanging in that outside, going to be side by side once again.
Does look like for the time being that Mogart is going to hang on to that position entering turn number 3 and 4. Pulls away just a little bit from Ashland. A ways back, Evan Black is trying to hang on to the spot from David Howard Jr., who's got himself into the top 5. Very good run for him. Go back to a side-by-side battle with Brian Yazik in the 55. He is under fire from Michael Krobik in the 72, and then right behind that, Mitch Brown in the 18, and Steve Ritter, highest he's been tonight.
One thing I'd like to point out quick, Corey, is Evan Black is on 2 tires, and for him being on 2 tires, he's doing a pretty good job hanging on.
Yeah, 2 tires can loosen the car up, and I've heard there is tighter conditions here tonight for some drivers the way they drive, so well, that might actually be helping him in an inadvertent way, but here comes David Howard Jr. underneath Mark Emerson, or perhaps the other way around, I believe it is. Emerson took a look to the outside, but Howard Jr. will hang on to the 5th spot for the time being. But that time being, now we have Troy Haight in 7th. Took a look to the outside of Emerson, now look to the inside entering turn number 1.
Troy Haight, the 28 machine now trying to get underneath the 22. The 22 has some pretty good damage on that race car, but he's still trying to hang in there. The 14 machine doing a really good job tonight. We don't normally see him up front.
Yeah.
Here comes Michael Krobik underneath the 28 machine now.
Yeah, Krobik trying to get by the 28 of Troy Haight, does so successfully up to the 7th position. Remember, Krobik was leading a portion of this race, actually has led 19 laps in the race, but is now at the latter half of the top 10. And here comes Troy Haight with the crossover, trying to make another move by him. Troy Haight to the inside of Krobik in 1 and 2. They will stay side by side. Is the 72 able to hold the momentum on the outside groove? Looks like he may be able to clear down the back straightaway, as we're about to have a battle for 2nd position, as Jordan Ashland is not done with Jared Mogart.
Ashland still trying to get the back bumper, now trying to get underneath that 00 machine of Jared Mogart. Down at the front straightaway, Mogart puts the block to him.
This is when the racing gets tight. We are at 10 laps to go in tonight's race here, folks. So every position, you cannot back down now. You have to go for every position that you see available. Here comes the 27 to the inside, really hugging that white line. All the while, these guys are closing on Jeff Ward.
Yeah, absolutely. 8.5 laps to go now, Corey. 27 looking underneath the 00 once again. Mogart puts the block to him down into turn number 3.
Yeah, this is kind of what Ward wants to see. He wants to see them duke it out, maybe slow their lap times down a little bit. Some smoker there on the front straightaway. They are still single file. Mogart is hanging on to the spot, but Ashland is just ready to pounce at any mistake.
Jared Mogart hasn't made many mistakes tonight, though, besides a speeding penalty, but he's dropping the wheels off that thing, hanging on to that race car, and Corey, they're hanging with Jeff Ward.
They're not just hanging with him, Brandon. They have caught him. They were about half a second back. They are now within 0.2 of a second. Maybe the track's wearing in and not to the style that Ward likes. Maybe he's just trying to play it easy and just keep some for when they do get to him. But regardless of that, 7 to go, and we may have a 3-car battle for the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Ashland, Jared Mogart all trying to play catch-up. The number 9 machine of Jeff Ward, and they may just be doing that. They have enough time to catch him if they can. Can they do it?
Well, as we know, catching is one thing, passing is another. And it looks like the lead has kind of stretched out by about a car length in the favor of Jeff Ward at the moment, as there still is battle going on. Who is that? We have Evan Black to the outside. Remember, he took 2 tires there. He has Mark Emerson to the inside of him. Michael Krobik also ready to pounce right behind this. And then we have Steve Ritter trying to get by Troy Haight. All this is for the latter half of the top 10.
Yeah, Evan Black starting to fall back now. I think those tires finally wore off for him, but man, oh man, did he do a good job hanging out up there.
Yes, he is most certainly. I did not expect that at all, but I'll tell you, Brandon, Jordan Ashland, I think he is faster than Mogard, but he needs to get by, and he needs to get by now if he's going to have any chance at Ward, who is starting to inch away again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Corey, we're getting to the iRacing cutoff point, as we call it, to the point where if a caution flies, the race is over. 5 laps to go.
Ashland trying his hardest to get to the right rear quarter panel of Mogard. He wants to pass him on the outside, because that's where he can kind of steal the momentum. That's where he can block and not get bogged down. So he's trying to do that his hardest, not quite happening. And look at the gaggle of cars behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys are not going to have to worry about positions 4th on back for right now. One thing I would like to point out, look at the 14 machine. He's made some awesome ground. 22 trying to take that away from him right now, but David Howard Jr. making an awesome run here tonight.
Yeah, I've kind of always had my eye in the background on David Howard Jr. He is a very methodical driver. Doesn't really do anything too crazy, too assertive, but just he manages to make a really good run and surprise everyone. So a top 5 run, he washes really high up the track here, maybe a little higher than he would have want. Opens the door for the 22 at Emerson to get another run.
Looking back up into the top 3 now, Jordan Ashland has actually fallen off the back
Caution,
Caution!
And that should be the race,
Jeff
folks.
Ward has just won this race with a caution. The 44 is around. That's Tom Gianni down the back straightaway. Heavy damage for that race car. And the 97 went up and over. That's the 3rd car that's been on his roof tonight. And the 42 car, oh man, that's Jim Foose.
Back on PTR replay, we'll see what happened here. And looks like the 44, Gianni took a look to the inside of the 84 machine. That was Raymond Castile. All the way to the inside was the 44. And that was you came down, I came up, and see the 97, it went upside down, and then Foose just kind of got the tail end of that there on the back straightaway. And that will end the race behind the iRacing.com pace car, unfortunately. So we will have Jeff Ward just having to complete 4 more miles of Auto Club at pace speed, and he will be the winner of tonight's race. It'll be his 3rd win of the season if he can manage to pull off these 2 more pace laps. Pretty much, could you have asked for any better of a start to the season for Ward? Let's just talk about Brandon. Let me read off these finishes for you. You ready?
Sure.
I'm just gonna, this is the track record he has so far. A 2nd at Richmond, he won Kentucky, a 2nd at Dover, a win at Chicagoland, and the only flaw to that was a 34th at Daytona. So if you neglect the super speedway, which of course is the wild card of the mix, he hasn't finished worse than 2nd this season.
Which is a pretty good record to have, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, I'll take
that's impressive. Especially the amount of competition in this league, Corey, is higher than I think anyone else that we covered. You know, it's unbelievable how you can have a record like that.
Yeah, when you figure something out, and like as we said, this is fixed setup, so everybody has the same exact setup. Everyone has the same exact set of challenges to endure, and he just finds that little bit extra and just does it that much better than everybody else week after week. Jared Mogard will finish 2nd tonight. Mogard is in the 3rd position in points going into tonight's race. has had, this will be his 4th top 5. Remember, he won at Dover a couple weeks back. So a good start to the season for Mogard. And then we have Jordan Ashland, also a top 5 driver in the point standings. So the championship guys, championship drivers who are making their points or making their place in the standings known, all having good runs tonight. This will be the white flag lap here at Auto Club Speedway. This will be our 8th caution for the 27 laps of the race behind the iRacing.com pace car, but we didn't see in the green flag runs we had. We saw some very good racing all throughout the field. Multiple lines in play, a lot of crossovers, a lot of 2-3 wide racing. So a very good race put on tonight by these ASRS drivers, but fortunately we will be finishing behind the pace car, but I think the fastest driver will be the winner tonight. Through turns number 3 and 4 at 70 miles an hour, Jeff Ward will follow the pace car through for the final time around this end of the speedway. Entering the front straightaway, he dominated the race. He pulled away by about 4 seconds, but he at the later stage of the race had to hang on to a good battle going on. He had to hang on to the lead. He had some competition at the end, but he shined above all. Jeff Ward will come off a turn number 4 and get his 3rd win of the season. Jeff Ward wins at Auto Club.
Our congratulations definitely go out to him, and well, stick with us, folks. The post-race show coming up right after this.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
Red Bull GRC is now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run, you know, about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and, you know, put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinster. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from 9th leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun, where the NASCAR stuff, you know, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there, where sprint cars, you're, you know, there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, yeah, starting out, I mean, as a rookie on there, you know, in the Legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, you know, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T similar because of the lasers.
And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show. I'm able to catch up with a few of these drivers after tonight's race, so we will start the post-race show immediately. We do have the second place finisher in tonight's race of Jared Mogard, and I will talk to him. All right, Jared, you finished second here tonight. You led some laps, you got the pole, but ultimately it looks like the 90 just had a little bit extra on everybody. So what do you feel like you needed to be able to ultimately race and get by him?
Well, we started second, right? I started on pole. He got me with like 2 minutes left, but I don't know. We just seemed there a little bit better. He was better on the long run. We were for like the first 10 or 15 laps, slowly moving from us. But okay, good. We're getting closer. We didn't get beat by 10 seconds like we did in Chicago, so we're improving.
Yeah, you did a really good job. He definitely pulled out by a huge gap on that first run, but it seems like as the race progressed, you guys were able to hang with him better and nearly sneak it out there. But talk about how the track drove tonight. We saw a lot of drivers get loose on corner exit, but we saw the groove kind of move up, and the outside kind of came in to a couple different aspects. So how was that for you tonight, and how was it like for you driving tonight?
Yeah, at the start it was really loose, and like I said, that's why you pulled away so much on that first run. It's kind of loose for me. As the race went on, it rubbered up and it got tighter. Yeah, it felt like we could hang with him a little bit better. You know, he wasn't pulling away. We didn't really have a long run either, but he wasn't pulling away as much. So, for sure, it would have been a little bit more rubber band and tighter from the start. And we might have been able to hang with him a little bit, but it moved up. I think there was something in that middle lane, or the second lane from the bottom that I couldn't quite figure it out a little bit in 1 and 2, but not so much in 3 and 4.
But all in all, man, you finished second and carries on with your good start to the season. So who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Just gotta give a shout out to Conklin Race Graphics and Twitchy Race Reports for sticking with us here and moving on, kind of falling out with Max out. Feels good to be doing it solo and take second place for sure. And I don't know if we're running cup next week or truck. I don't know what we're running next week. Looking forward to next week.
All right. Congrats again on your finish, man, and hopefully we'll talk to you in the future.
Yeah, thank you. I just gotta give a shout out to you guys and for the broadcast. Even though the snowstorm, so pretty cool that you guys were able to do that, and Jay and everybody at ASRS. So thank you.
Not a problem, man. That is second place Jared Mogard, and we just had third place enter the booth with us. So here I will talk to third place Jordan Ashland. All right, Jordan, it was a third place finish for you tonight here at Auto Club. It looks like you nearly had a second there, just couldn't find what you needed to get around Mogard. So talk about your race tonight, and ultimately if you thought that you had anything for Jeff Ward at all.
No, but that was fun. I mean, Jared and Jeff were just flat out better than everyone. In the middle of the race, I pitted, and then right as I pitted, the caution came out, so it put me at the back. I got the lucky dog, but I fought my way back up, and I want to give a shout out to my teammate Mark Emerson for getting 4th, and I want to thank Jim for having the league, and Tom for running a lot of stuff, and everyone else who is associated with doing.
Yeah, so definitely, man, good shout-outs there. But so one more question for you. Just talk about what you obviously you've had a pretty good start to the season thus far. Haven't quite been able to pull it into victory lane, but in the top 5 consistently. What does this do for your momentum, and do you think you have a trip to victory lane potentially in the future?
Man, I hope so. If Jeff Ward doesn't show up, maybe, but I think I'm a little closer to speed with Jared than I am with Jeff. It's really cool getting the top 5 and consistently getting top 5 or being in the top 5. Yeah, it's gonna be good for the rest of the season.
All right, man. So again, thanks for talking to us. Congrats on the podium finish, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thank you guys.
That is 2nd and 3rd, and now Brandon will talk to tonight's winner, Jeff Ward.
He's out of the race car now. Your winner here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway, Jeff Ward. Jeff, how do you feel?
I feel good, Brandon. Was able to get it done tonight. I was praying we didn't have a caution or earlier than we did there at the end, because there would have been some guys probably take right sides or instead of 4, and we would have been maybe in trouble. So I was kind of glad. I wish it would have ended under green, but at least it ended where the racing in our caution, and we didn't have to try to race for it. But yeah, man, just a good night. Car felt good, and it was definitely some fun racing there with Jordan and Jared, and it was just a good time.
Well, you had to get put to the back there one of those times. Tell us what happened in that pit stop.
Well, I slid through, and then I tried to back up, and it still wouldn't let me get service, and then I was too far right. I ended up spending about 10 or 15 seconds there and falling all the way back to, I think it was 18th, and was able to kind of work up through the field and save tires as we were doing it, so I was able to make some ground back up on the leaders and got a caution, and the car just kind of fell where we needed them to get back up to the front. So luck was kind of on our side on that one. I thought once we got back there, we might not be able to get back to the front or might get in an accident or something. So we was pretty fortunate that we was able to get back up there.
What was it like working your way back up towards the front?
It was a little nerve-wracking. There were some guys that were kind of loose on exit, so you kind of had to, pick and choose your battles. And then, there was, I think, a couple guys got into the wall there, but it wasn't too bad. Basically everybody drove clean, and like I said, just had to kind of pick the battles and work up through theirs, kind of quickly, but also safely and cautiously as I could.
Well, awesome job. You come home with the victory here tonight, Jeff. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank and shout out to?
Yeah, thanks to American Sim Racing, Loud Pedal Motorsports, my teammates there. I know a couple of them had trouble. Mike was real fast, and then he had a problem there on pit road as well, and never really got back up to the top 5, but he had a good car, so thanks to them guys as always. Thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. I seen you guys are sick, so I hope you feel better.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeff, and yeah, awesome job here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner from Auto Club Speedway, driver the number 90, Jeff Ward.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
All right, another dominating performance by the 90, so we will congratulate him yet again and wrap up tonight's coverage with the final results here at Auto Club Speedway. Obviously, with the victory tonight, the 90 machine of Jeff Ward. Second was Jared Mogard. Third, we had Jordan Ashland. And the top 5 is Mark Emerson and David Howard Jr. A great finish tonight. Rounding out your top 10, Michael Krobik, Steve Ritter, Troy Haight, Mitch Brown, and Evan Black. And then 11th through 20th, Brian Yazik in 11th, Jason Stewart in 12th, Tyler Seville in 13th, Scott Eckrich in 14th, Sean Music in 15th, and then rounding out your top 20, Alan Young, John Kennedy, Zach Calloway, Josh Gallagher, and Woody Mahon, and the remaining results will flash by on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to take a quick moment, thank all of our staff here on PTR TV, Michael DeGroat, obviously Corey Silver for making this whole thing happen, Evan Black, part-time commentator with us, behind the scenes, Joe Chris as well, and just huge thanks to everyone that makes this channel happen. That's also including our channel sponsor, starting out with Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formally established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Air Movement Fabrications is a ventilation service to trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATBO and IRTBO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, big shout out to TrackCams for Gourmet for all the awesome camera angles that you see here on this channel. Visit him at trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and costs low for league owners. We need a little help from the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you'll get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV.
So that's another broadcast here on PTR TV. We brought you the ASRS Twitchy Race Reports Premier Cup Series. Obviously, Jeff Ward with another dominating victory, starting off the season on the dominating note. He is going to be the driver to beat. But signing out of the booth is Brandon Krutz and Corey Silva. Stay tuned for more content on PTR TV. Don't forget the Rivalry Racing League on Thursday nights, and perhaps something surprise coming up tomorrow night. We're still working on maybe doing an official race to bring some more action to the fans out there. So again, have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night. Catch you next time.